Hello! In previous blog posts, and because of the inherent nature of the creepypasta fandom, I was under the impression that it was a safe and inclusive corner of the internet. However, this all changes today. In an average conversation between members of the creepypasta Discord community that I participate in, some children who are part of the conversation and seemed very familiar with each other, at least, began to talk about self-harm and suicide and threatened to kill each other and family members specifically. They also used multiple slurs that were ableist or homophobic. This could have been ironic use, like I feel the homophobia was, but it was quite full on and uncomfortable to witness from the outside. And that is why this week I wrote a story emphasizing the autistic traits of the main character. It was called If Dreams Don't Come True, and followed a boy called Charles through a hotel that had been invaded by the Slender Man. This boy does not escape in the end, and it leads into another story that I wrote. I used my personal experience with the autistic community to make the story more authentic. My depiction of autism in the story aligns with that of other people's writings in the same fandom. This story I read called You'll Be Lying to Yourself, which is one of the few other stories with an autistic main character in creepypastas on AO3, features a woman who is undergoing some severe mental health problems. This is where our stories contrast the most. Mine focuses on external factors and what the character is actively doing, but the other story is mostly internal, featuring memories and emotional conflict. Both utilize themes of isolation and survival. The biggest thing I wanted to emphasize was that autism doesn't take away from being human and doesn't make someone less intelligent or sensible. From my perspective, my assumption is that autism presents itself through the tales of masking, though I know there are members of the autism community that cannot hide their identities, and I suppose that would be a more diverse voice to include in stories. Implications within these stories could be seen that autistic people are receiving punishment or being demonized, but I don't think that those takes are particularly serious or have much footing, considering that the majority of creepypasta stories that feature allistic people also have terrible things happening to the characters. Thank you for listening to my ramble about including autism representation in the creepypasta media niche.